Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Tomorrow is July the 1st. We're going to be officially halfway through the year. And although I think 2021 started off pretty much where 2020 ended, I think over the course of the last couple of months or so, it seems that people are really trying to reclaim their lives. Governments, governors, etc. are finding it harder and harder to keep people locked up. And I don't know, call me the eternal optimist, but I got a feeling that the second half of the year ain't gonna be too bad. Hopefully I haven't cursed. Sorry, 2 seconds. What? Say again? Delta variant? No! Hopefully the second part of the year will be a lot better than the first. So I was just reading through Bounding into Comics and I came across this article, which is superficially quite amusing, light-hearted, and I thought it'd be a great way to end the first half of the year with. But as ever, you know, there's a little bit more serious side underneath it as well, which I'm going to dig into. But again, hopefully for your viewing pleasure. Now, this is written by John F. Trent. Diamond Lobby reimagined video game characters with WAHAMANS protagonists to, quote, promote diversity in gaming. Sweet Jesus. Yeah, it's one of those articles, folks, I'm afraid, where people, in an effort to virtue signal, display uncharacteristic. No, let's just be honest. Very characteristic levels of ignorance and stupidity. In an effort so desperate to prove their points, they invariably end up making themselves look like utter fools. I promise you, this is going to be no exception. So let's just read part of the article. Diamond Lobby, a video game entertainment website, recently showcased a number of video game characters that they redesigned as WAHAMANS in order to promote diversity in gaming. Diamond Lobby, the redesigns were imagined by Brittany Lynn and created by artist Hossein Kalantari. They include Captain Price from Call of Duties, Michael DeSanta from Grand Theft Auto 5, Alex Hunter from FIFA 17, because nothing says topical like FIFA 17, Master Chef, Ezio from Assassin's Creed, Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War, and Johnny Silverdong from Cyberpunk. Everyone got a refund. Okay, so let's just try and get an understanding of their mentality. I could say some stuff right there on why they did this. Lynn specifically noted she came up with the redesigns to address what she sees as a problem between the amount of male and female characters as protagonists, despite citing data that states 23% of main characters within games were male and 18% were female as of 2020. And then the other percentages are made up of either non-human characters or character creations where you get to choose the protagonist of your story, which is becoming more and more, not accepted is the right word, but more and more prevalent within video games. Anyway, giving people options. Giving people options is always good. Just because you allow yourself to choose between a male or a female doesn't say, well, the males have to play male and the female have to play female. You can switch and choose. We'll get on to other stuff in a moment. She writes, despite the disparity between men and WAHAMANS in gaming decreasing, it's clear the male characters still get preferential treatment. Yeah, sweetheart. Yeah, that was meant to be patronizing because you're a fucking idiot. That's called knowing who your audience is. Okay, that's called knowing who your audience is. There isn't the mythical barrier of 50% female and male in video games is a myth, because it absolutely depends on the type of game that you're playing. Tons more women play mobile games than males. And so when you're looking at a franchise like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, that is vastly predominantly male orientated as opposed to female orientated. Is that sexist? No. Why isn't it sexist? Because women can pick up a controller and play. And this is one of the stupidities of these sort of arguments. There's not enough women playing Call of Duty. Well, shout at women then, you dipshit. Because it's a choice. It's a choice of whether or not they want to pick up a controller, a keyboard, mouse, and play a Call of Duty, a Warzone, a Battlefield, or not. They choose not to. They want to play other stuff. Jesus Christ. It's as if people are individuals and have their own choices and likes and dislikes. And yes, there's always going to be cross-pollination between the two, but it doesn't mean there's going to be an equality within that cross-pollination at all. But, you know, you'd have to have a brain cell to know that sort of stuff. When you look at the world's biggest games, female characters are often one of the gang rather than getting the lead role, the protagonist. There are plenty of absolute bangers of female characters within video games protagonists. Certainly, you have Lara Croft, which is probably numero uno, the best known. The reason why Lara Croft has remained so popular over the course of the 20 plus years, 22, 23 years now that she's been around, isn't just because she had a big pair of knockers. It's because the games involving Lara Croft were fun to play. They were fun action adventure games that people picked up by, I think it was Eidos that started them. And they really engaged an audience, which would have been a predominantly male audience. Picking up a female character. Shocker, I know, but there you go. You had Joanna Dark, Perfect Dark, one of the most revered shooters and one that people have been desperate to return for a long, long time. Often cited as one of the best. There was GoldenEye. Games on the N64. You just have to take a dart and throw it at a Final Fantasy game to pick up a female protagonist. Who is very well received, very well loved. Characters like Yuna, characters like Tifa, Ares, they are protagonists. They are main characters as well as people like Cloud. They play exceptionally large roles within those games. They're not just side characters. You could go off Resident Evil series. Again, Jill Valentine. You could pick her as the protagonist. Claire Redfield as the protagonist, two very beloved characters. And then still within that, you had other characters like Ada Wong, etc., that really fleshed out Resident Evil being one of the biggest franchises in terms of choice of who you wanted your protagonist to be. And because we're dealing with 23% male and 18% female as of last year, just look at the choice that you have in that remaining percentage of what? 59% or so? 23, 19, whatever. No, 18, whatever, 58. You can choose. So you have the option to do what you want. MMORPGs, of course, you choose male, female. You can even pick animal, vegetable, mineral for most of them. This argument is so redundant and reductive because it ultimately falls down to business decisions. And another, I mean, for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, one of the biggest female protagonists to come out of video games in a long time is Ellie from The Last of Us. She certainly went toe-to-toe with Joel in the first Last of Us game, which made her such a beloved character. Then, of course, got her own DLC in that, where they gayed her up. And then she was the main character for the laughable Last of Us Part 2, which, of course, holds the world record for the most Game of the Year awards, because it was so great and everyone loved it. No, mainstream media just kissed its ass because they're a progressive bunch of fucking weirdos. So to have this tired argument of there's not enough whamming within video games, who starts up these video game companies, huh? Who starts them up? They start small and then they build. And if you want to do something, why aren't you, as a female, building your own game developing company, huh? Why aren't you trying to redress the balance, which doesn't really exist, because it's a mute point anyway? Why aren't you trying to bring all the creatives in? Because you haven't. This is all about fucking whinging and moaning. That's all it is. Anywho, we've seen some of the images of the real character. Let's have a look at that. Look at that dog shit price. Look at that. Jesus Christ, did a squirrel just run across her face? Yeah, that's Captain Price. No, it isn't. Michelle DeSanta. Okay, you know, that just looks like a soccer mom that's taken her husband's money because all she does is sit at home all day with her feet up, painting her nails because she's a lazy cow. What we got here? Alex Hunter. Great. She's kicking a football. Congratulations. Madam Chi. Great. I'm so sorry that she turned into a hunchback. Eva, great. That just, yeah, such a difference. This is unbelievable stuff. Marcia Phoenix, who's a cretin. Their head's like way too big for the body and their legs are fucking tiny. Good work there. That's great work. Jenny Silverhand. Yeah, look, I'm glad that you've got a ton of time to waste on this bullshit. I really am. You know, maybe your time would be better served actually not creating a straw man argument. Sorry, did you find straw man sexist, straw woman argument and sticking it out there? And if you're so fucking concerned about females in video games, why didn't you go and create one? Because you can't. And you don't understand how the thing fucking works in the first place. Anyway, there we go. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links there in the description box down below. The next video will be a female version of Az, because I like to diversify and be inclusive with my content. Until then, you take care. Bye for nowsies.